That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mrs. Hall, second by Ms. Lee. Comments or questions on the action?
And I believe what that was for was to designate the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Health as a public health department. And she reported to us that during COVID, the counties got money from the state for COVID, but the two counties that comprise Cheyenne River, Ziebach and Dewey County, that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe did, although our population is the tribal members are densely populate those two counties, but that we did not receive any COVID monies from the state because we were not a public health, we didn't have that public health designation. And so the purpose of this motion was tribal health department and the state of South Dakota, that the attorney draft up a use agreement designating the tribal health department as a public health department with regard to the way the state of South Dakota views public health departments in the state, so that we could receive monies from the state. That's it. Anyway,
Sounds
did I say
good.
I would make? Did I say that I would make that motion?
Yeah, we got a motion and a second to do the use agreement, draft the use agreement. It'll come back to council and a committee, I imagine, once that's drafted. So, Madam Secretary.
Bryce Underwoods. Absent Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ken Knight Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Absent Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe Brings Plenty. Absent Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, I have 11 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 4 absent. Motion carries. Mrs. Hall.
Okay, motion by Council Representative Sharon Lee, seconded by Council Representative Joe Brings Plenty, to adjourn the meeting at 3:54 p.m. I just want to point out in your packet, there is a monthly summary report, month ending November 2023, from the Cheyenne River Service Unit. Now, we get these every month in the Health Committee, and they're a part of your packet. And they give some good data, so I would encourage you to actually read those. And if you look at purchased and referred care, it was reported to us that their spending, or their funding, fiscal year 24 funding, is $2,465,740. And they've spent to date about $500,000, a little over $500,000 of that, $501,333.47. Those were salaries and the AVEL contract. And they also wanted us to know that the medical priority funding level is levels 1 through 4. And the acting CEO reported to us that anybody who needs to be referred out is referred out, and that they have those priority funding levels 1 through 4. So he said they were seeing more referrals that were, but he did tell us, he assured us that if somebody needs to be referred out, they don't say, well, is this level 1 or is it level 2? They send them out. They honor all the funding levels. and to point out that they are, it shows the Medicare, Medicaid reimbursements, the third-party collections that they get, and they get private insurance and VA. So those, if you have anybody in your districts that want to know about the data, it's right here. And like I said, we get this every month. So I just wanted to point that out for your information. And that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you for the report. I have a question from the secretary.
Thank you, Chairman. Is there any way, like these carryover funds that they have, it says here, average weekly spending, no current weekly spending due to utilizing prior year funds? Our kids, the adults, they need braces. And our unit here don't provide that. Is there any way these carryover funds can be used for these? And not only that, contacts. Some kids don't want to wear glasses. They want to use contacts. And with these carryover funds, I think we should do that, is provide these services to our members who want braces, who want contacts. So if that's something Health Committee can look into and start providing that for our members. Thank you.
Yes, that's Mr. Chairman and Secretary. That is something that we can do. The dental is in the master health contract. And when we were at that funding allocation meeting with IHS, they did remind us that we could provide those orthopedic service or orthodontic services, and they even set up to implants, that they do dental implants. And like I said, that is part of our master health contract, and so it's an allowable expenditure with IHS, and so that we can check into that and make sure that they're providing those services. And I agree with you on the contacts. That is still with IHS, but we can look into that and see if that is permissible and advocate for it. So thank you.
Council, let's take a couple-minute break. Council, we get started again. We'll call it back to order.
Chairman LeBeau, I can
Yes.
do the EDC minutes.
Okay.
The Economic Development Committee meeting was called to order on December 19th at 10:01 a.m. And it says Chairman Francine Hall called the Health Committee meeting to order at 10:01 a.m. If you could just change Chairman to Sharon Lee and Health Committee to Economic Development Committee. I think that's the only error that's in there. Members present, Sharon Lee, Chair, Steve Moran, Kenrick Dupree. Absent, Ted Knife Jr., Kelsey Haskell. I think that has to be excused, and Bryce in the Woods. Present, Thad Rose, Vice Chair, John Kessler, Member. Absent, Ronald Russo, Mary White Bull, and Joseph Brings Plenty. Excuse me, and I believe that Mrs. White Bull and Mr. Brings Plenty has to be excused as well. Others present, Chad Morgan, Sanitary Landfill, J.D. Williams, Credco. Mr. Williams gave his report, and also Mr. Morgan. There was no motions there, okay. There was a motion by Council Representative John Kessler, second by Council Representative Thad Rose to approve the resolution regarding the contractor's tax, and we did that in the December council session already. So that's already taken care of. And the next motion was by Council Representative Thad Rose, second by Council Representative Kenrick Dupree, to proceed with the Chartre housing and refer to Mark Van Norman for legal, and that's already done too in the December session. There's a motion by Kenrick Dupree to adjourn the meeting. So I don't have my notes here with me, so I don't know if there's any other motion, so I'll just submit this to the record.
Thank you.
If there's any questions?
Thank you, Mrs. Lee, for the economic development report. Council, we go on to our next set of minutes. I believe our roads are here. Also have this resolution for the Dean want to pass it out. Where's Dean at? Did he leave already? Just pass those out. And this is the resolution we passed out earlier. It's regarding the Rapid City programs. There's 3 programs in Rapid City that are under the tribes: the Oglala Sioux, the Cheyenne River Sioux, and Rosebud. And they are the Rapid City CHRs, the Rapid City Native Women's Health, and there's also the Rapid City Native Healing, which is a alcohol and drug addiction diversion program. Those three programs, and then those were contracted like back in the 90s. And when we contracted Sioux-San, we did not include those programs. We should have. And Oglala was kind of reluctant to turn those over. And it was kind of political. You know how when you contract programs, the employees speak up and talk to their elected officials. That thing happened. So, but now that the program is kind of defunct, they don't have any providers. They're not seeing any Native women through their program out there. So Oglala is now ready to turn that over. They feel like it's time now. And of course, Oglala has the most shares in that Rapid City Native Women's Health program. So they're actually under Oglala's tribal health. And this resolution turns it over to the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board to be managed under, just like Susan is managed currently under Oyate Health. So I'll read this in, and then if we have any action, council, we can approve it. It is important that we probably do this because they're, like I said, they're not seeing any women. There's in the past they saw one pregnant woman, and the program went array, and the middle of her pregnancy they stopped taking her appointments. They stopped doing because they didn't have a provider. They lost their provider. So things like that were happening and are happening now. So I'll read this into record for you, council, and we'll start with the third whereas. The tribal constitution authorizes the tribal council in Article 4, Section 1A to negotiate with the federal, state, and local governments on behalf of the tribe, and in Section 1M to protect and promote the health and welfare of the tribe and its members. Whereas many years ago, the Oglala Sioux tribe, on behalf of itself, the CRST, and the Rosebud Sioux tribe assumed responsibility and program services, functions, and activities, and funding of the Native Women's Health Care Program in the Rapid City Service Unit, and related funding of the Indian Health Service from the service unit area and headquarters of IHS. Whereas the CRST is grateful for OST leadership in beginning the journey to self-determination on behalf of our three tribes and our members and other natives who live in Rapid City. And whereas following this lead in 2018, the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board was authorized by OST CRST to assume the remaining IHS programs in Rapid City on behalf of their tribes. And in 2022, the RST added its authorization, and whereas under this tribal authority, Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board has delivered health services in Rapid City through the Oyate Health Center under the guidance of the OHC governing body, which includes subject matter expert representative of all three tribes, a representative of the Rapid City Indian community, and professional leaders of the OHC, and formed the Mini Luzon Chozani Advisory Committee, MILWAC, with representatives of each authorizing tribe and Rapid City community to provide direction, and the board members of the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board respond to concerns regarding the operations of OHC and consider and make recommendations regarding the future of OHC and Rapid City Service Unit. And whereas in January 2023, the long-awaited new clinic facility was transferred from contractor in IHS for beneficiary occupancy by the tribal health programs of Rapid City. Whereas if the OST Rapid City programs are transferred to Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board, all the three tribes will continue to have the representation on the Oyate Health Center governing body and MILWAC. Whereas the Oyate Health Center has developed a strong health care program serving all Native peoples in Rapid City and many more who reside on reservations of the three tribes, is working on plans to expand specialty services, sustain and grow third-party reimbursement, and continue careful human resources and financial management. Whereas the need for a fully integrated Native women's health services from primary care through specialty care, including pre and maternal health services and labor and delivery, has reached critical proportions due to a combination of crisis level increases in infectious diseases and decrease in available health care providers. And whereas in the time since 2018, the number of obstetricians providing full-time delivery care at the Monument Health has decreased from 13 to 8, making recruitment even more challenging and expensive. At the same time as the South Dakota CDC data show that Native moms are much more likely to die from pregnancy-associated causes than other South Dakotans, representing 44.1% of all pregnancy-related deaths and only 20.2% of all Native births. native pregnancy associated death rate of 143.4 out of 100,000 compared to 35.8 out of 100,000 among white women, and with disproportionately high rates of pregnancy associated deaths among all women in Pennington County, 81.4 out of 100,000, and Oglala Lakota County, 170.7 out of 100,000, compared with the state whole of 58.2 out of 100,000. Whereas the Native Women's Health Care Program has been without providers and therefore unable to provide direct clinical care for nearly a year. And whereas on October 30th, 2018, the OST adopted resolution number 18-163 that stated that transfer the Native Women's Health Care would result in better integration of all tribal programs at the Rapid City Service Unit and benefit patients and retrocede Native Women's Health Care and programs that are not subject to the resolution to the effective upon resolutions from the Rosebud Sioux and Cheyenne River Sioux tribes, specifically authorizing the retrocession by the Oglala Sioux tribe and authorizing the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board to assume the PFSAs. And whereas the CRST believes it is the best interest of the tribe and the Rapid City community for the OST's Native Women's Health programs to be consolidated into the Oyate Health Center programs and administration under the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board leadership and the OHC governing body and MILWAC guidance. And now therefore be resolved, the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe urges the Oglala Sioux tribe to transfer PSFAs and related funding to the Native Women's Health Care Program that the Oglala Sioux tribe operates and administers in Rapid City back to Indian Health Service at the earliest possible effective date, provided the transfer would be effective to earlier than the PSFAs, and the funding can be assumed by the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board to be carried out under the same tribal resolutions that supported assumption of the IHS programs by the Great Plains Tribal Leaders Health Board. Now therefore be resolved that this resolution constitutes express authorization from the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe to the Oglala Sioux tribe to retrocede Native Women's Health Program as provided above, and now therefore be resolved the disclaimer. Nothing in this resolution shall be construed as effective, modifying, or diminishing or otherwise impairing the sovereignty of the tribe and its sovereign immunity from suit, or authorizing or requiring the termination of existing treaty or trust responsibility of the United States with respect to any people. Number two, this resolution does not supersede or replace any other action by the tribe to authorize Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board to provide support or services on behalf of the tribe. Council, is there any
Motion
action?
to approve. Second.
We got a motion approved by Mrs. Haskell, second by Ms. Lee. Comments, third by Mr. Kessler. Comments or questions, Mr. Underwoods?
What's driving this resolution, Chairman? What's driving it anyway? What's going on with Oglala?
Who's driving it?
Yeah, what's making this resolution come on? Why is it coming on?
The program's not operating appropriately. They don't have a provider currently, and they haven't had one in a long time over the past year. And women are not getting service through their program. They're not even seeing patients.
How about the CHRs? That was the issue when we met that time.
The CHRs hasn't come up yet. I think they're functioning better than this program.
Are they still under OST then?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. The staff would talk to leadership. Any other comments or questions? I would ask to put the format into our format. Motion maker, if you want to include that in your motion.
You can amend that, so
Okay.
it's in our format. Thank you.
Okay, second still there. Thank you. Madam Secretary, would you call for the vote?
That's what I was gonna mention, is that we'll put it in our format, and also we're gonna add the disclaimer, our disclaimer. Thank you. Bryce Underwood. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knight Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick Dupreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Yes. That 13 yes, 0 no, 1 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Council, I had some minutes here from the roads committee. Yeah. First draft. Craven did the final draft. I got road committee minutes, October 25th, 2023, September 28th, 23, July 19, 23, May 11, 2023.
We'll start with May.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we had a meeting on May 11th, 9 a.m. Members present, myself, Thad, Mr. Rose, Mr. Kessler, and Kenneth Dupreez present. I'll go to the motions. Motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. Dupreez, for any elderly individuals in District 1 wanting gravel must put in an elderly roads application. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
We've got a motion by Mr. Knife. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Rose. Comments or questions on the action? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwood. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knight Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick Dupreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Next motion is by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Rose, that to add the new applicants, Virginia Whitefeather, Arvin Redbear Senior, Stanley Moran, Wakia Peta, Verna Moran, Roger Moran, and Patsy Harper to the District 1 elderly roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Knife. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brinksplenny. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwood. Absent. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knight Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick Dupreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Yes. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Okay, 13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Rose to add the new applicants. Johnny Brings Plenty, Bonita Shadat, Ann LeBeau, Sheila Collins, pending application to the District 2 roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
We've got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Rose. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Cinderwoods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Brings Plenty,
Abstain due to my wife being on the list. Thank you.
Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson. Thank you.
Thirteen yes, 0 no, 1 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Next motion is by Mr. Kessler, seconded by Mr. Rose to add the new applicant Sylvester Woloki, Elmara Connie Blue Legs, Ophelia Dupree, Evangeline White McPie, Judith Brown to the District 3 elderly roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Got a motion by Mr. Knife. Is there a second? Second by Mr. DePreez. Comments, questions on the motion? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Cinderwoods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee, Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Brings Plenty, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson. Thank you.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Mr. Kessler, seconded by Mr. Dupreez to prioritize Sylvester Woloki as first on the roads to complete on the District 3 elderly roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Okay. Okay.
The roads are done? Okay. Cool. I'll move on to the next motion, Chairman.
Okay.
Next motion is by Mr. Rose, seconded by Mr. Dupreez to refer Carol Robertson's application onto Galen's home repair. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Got a motion by Mr. Knife. Is there a second by Mr. Rose? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote. Was it a referral?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's a referral, so all in favor, raise your hand. Of 14 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Mr. Rose. Applicants Loris Fisher, Kevin Keckler, Paige Barker, Kim Peterson, Donnie Nelson, Joyce Gunville, Susan LaPlante, and Sylvia Peacock, pending application to the District 4 elderly list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Walters. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Cinderwoods, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Bringsbury, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Representative Kessler, second by Representative Rose to add Charlene Anderson's driveway upgrade to the District 5 Alley Roads list, pending application. Was that already done? Okay, that's already done.
Okay, it's already done. Go on to next.
Motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. DePreez to add the new applicant, Bonita Clark, CRST Family Violence, Vivian Traversy, and Janice Eberhard to the District 5 Elderly Roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Bringspunny. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote. Bob third.
Bryce Sindowitz, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Bringsbury, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Mr. Rose, seconded by Mr. DePreez to add the new applicants, Roland and Doretta Balker, Vicky Duchno, Emma Lou Rees, Delima Butcher, and Todd Ward to the District 6 LD Roads list. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Ms. Haskell to approve. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Sindowitz, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Bringsbury, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Next motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. DePreez to we adjourned at 11:18. I'll go on, you want me to go on to the July 19th?
Okay. July 19th.
Members present was Mr. Rose, Mr. Bringsbury, Mr. Kessler, and Mr. DePreez. I'll go to the first motion. Motion by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Rose to resubmit Route 12 to the nationally significant federal lands and tribal projects grant with a 20% match. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Kessler. Comments, questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Sindowitz, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller,
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Bringsbury, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Okay, next motion is by Mr. DePreez, seconded by Mr. Kessler to submit Route 11 and Route 12 to the tribal and state and federal scenic byway program for submission. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
We got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Kessler. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson. Thank you.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent, motion carries. Mr. Knife,
Next motion by Mr. Brinksplenny, second by Mr. Rose to submit La Plante Pathways Phase 1 and 2 for a Tetra grant. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
we got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Brinksplenny. Comments or questions, council members? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent, motion carries. Mr. Knife, go ahead.
Okay, next motion by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Brinksplenny to have Transportation Director Dakota Long look into artesian well grant and see about getting it cleared up. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Ms. Haskell. Yes, sir.
That grant is kind of holding up our, we wanted to put in for grants to, mine for gravel and try to get the four directions of, 4 areas, like in southwest, southeast, and all the other places. We're trying to submit that grant in Denver to, but that grant's holding us up, that it's not used up yet, so we can have Dakota work with our chair, Kevin. That grant, remember that geothermal well grant? If he can expend that, use that up, and then we can apply for gravel mining. Okay.
Okay, any other comments? Mr. Rindowoods?
Chairman LeBeau, council, 2 things is council action. We had to establish gravel pits in the 6 districts, and nothing, no report, nothing. Years went by, but we had a grant, Chairman. I think it was $350,000 when Joe Brinksplenny was the chairman. But that went sideways, and that was supposed to build Red Scalpel and Chair Creek's Artesian. We're supposed to build those up where you could use that energy to even grow food, and, we need to push for that, they care. And when can we get a report on maybe adding a latte to that? Because I know there's a latte that has a gravel pit north of Iron Island. Maybe we need to start identifying that, maybe. Because that's how we got that Elders highway going, Elders Roads going. Was that, what the heck do they call that? Remember when you get that, like you're using that gravel, but then I can't get that word right now, but that's what we use to get those Elders gravel. And I think we need to, that's where that motion came out of, to further that, gravel development. So maybe, can we get a report from Dakota sometime, see if we can follow up with that council action on establishing 6 gravel pits. And that was before this Chair Creek one was running out.
Okay.
Plamaro.
Okay, Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brings Plenty. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Chairman, this next motion is an in-house motion. I'll move on to the next one. Motion by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Rose to add Angeline LeBeau to the elderly, District 6 elderly road list. That'll be my motion, Chairman, pending application.
We got a motion by Mr. Knife. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Walters. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brings Plenty. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Next motion is by Mr. Brings Plenty, second by Mr. Rose to submit the approved budget to the Treasurer Keckler for FY 23 elderly roads funds. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Brings Plenty. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brings Plenty. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
Next motion is by Mr. Kessler, second by Mr. Brings Plenty to adjourn. We adjourned at 11:55. Then we go to September
Yep.
28th. Members present, Mr. Rose, Mr. Brings Plenty, and Mr. DePreez. Go down to the first motion. Motion by Mr. Brings Plenty, second by Mr. DePreez to add road safety audit and mile marker installation project and a traffic and criminal software system to the TTIP. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
Here we got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Brings Plenty. Comments or questions on the action? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brings Plenty. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Chairman,
Mr.
the
Knife.
next motion was done by executive, the Rose Engineering, KLJ engineering contracts.
Okay.
I'll move down to the next motion by Mr. DePreez, seconded by Mr. Brings Plenty to add Karen Littlewood to the District 1 elderly roads pending application. That'll be my motion, Chairman.
We got a motion by Mr. Knife, second by Mr. Brings Plenty. Comments or questions on the action? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ken Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Brinkspunny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Knife.
There's a motion by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Brinksplenty, adjourned. We adjourned at 11:22.
Chairman.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yeah, Chairman, question to the Roads Committee is, have you guys discussed, I believe it was $2 or $3 million that was put aside for community road development? I believe they're focused on the community of Igby.
Update on that. We got roads, Sesame Street, we all know that has to be repaired. District 4X, you know that right there by Mini Mart, that road is terrible. District 4X, you know there's lighting up there on Highway 212, coming out of north, there used to be a crosswalk, but it's got the wheel signs for pedestrians, having to put up. The danger. That lighting is down on 212, coming out of north, east, and west entrance. So the lights need to be fixed, they've been down, so I haven't heard from any of the councilors concerned about the lighting not being lit up at nighttime for people crossing the roadway. No update on the repair to the road from Maynard, Sesame Street. Any update, Mr. Knight, road committee members on that, 3 million?
Mr. Bartlett, in the December Roads Committee meeting, Mr. Longbreak showed us, I believe it was the engineering maps and such of the roads in Sesame Street that they were working on. And off the top of my head, I don't remember all the details. There was discussion on parking, whether they wanted to leave it roadside or if every house was gonna get a driveway. And there were several other questions he had for consideration of the committee. I just don't have the details off the top of my head. They're probably included in the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Yeah, committee members are just concerned because I haven't heard any of this, and you know, we all travel and you go to these cities and they're clean. You come back to the reservation, Iggy Beat, you know, one of our biggest cities on a reservation, and it's not clean. Looks junky, it looks shady, it's terrible. You know, we got elders, we got people passing on, and they're never gonna see the day that this community or anything on the reservation is clean. So you look down at the city, you go down that four-way, you got these teenagers driving up and down Main Street. There's no lines on the road. People are just guessing a 4-lane. We all know, we live here, so we know it's a 4-lane, but there's no paint on the roads. The city don't seem to be concerned. You look at those curbs, there's dirt in the curbs. There should be no dirt on those curbs, and the gutters should be cleaned, and we shouldn't wait till every fair time or ending of the year when we have a celebration to clean up the community. We should be cleaning it right now. You go to those cities, they're cutting weeds right now. During the winter months, they're cutting those weeds down. They don't wait till, once a year. They're actually cleaning throughout the year. So it's probably cold now, but when the temperatures warm up a little bit where this ice can kind of freeze and the snow melts, our crews should be out there cutting these weeds down and, getting that dirt out of the gutters and cleaning the curbs. And you got children that are walking to school and they have to see all this junk, all this dirt and things like that. It took us, we argued with District 4, or not District 4, but District 3, District 1 rep over a sidewalk that needs to be repaired over there by the Fun Center because she felt that all the sidewalks in Dupree need to be repaired. But now we got those kids that are, now that she's no longer on council, that sidewalk is repaired, those kids ain't walking on the road. But I'm just saying simple things like that we could have fixed years ago, and it's good to see that those kids don't have to walk on the road to go over that broken up sidewalk out there by the Fun Center. And the BIA needs to step up. Right there by the Fun Center, when they filled those potholes, they actually made it worse than the potholes. So people's cars are being damaged. So I think we need to step it up as a tribe and roads committee and department, Dakota needs to kind of give us more updates and, you know, make at least one of these communities look pleasant or, you know, presentable. And, you know, Iggy Butte community, District 5 and 4 is one of the biggest communities, and we should at least focus on that and then make our way out to the other communities such as Dupree or Timberlake. But yeah, right now we ain't doing nothing but waiting. You know, we're doing these little driveways and gravel sites and things like that, but nobody's actually talking about the lighting, you know, better lighting on the roads, lines for these teenagers to see on the side of the roads. We're just waiting for another accident to happen or somebody to get hit. You know, we had people get hit up there by the intersection and they got killed right there by No Heart, and my District 4 reps ain't really concerned about that lighting. You know, it's just another accident waiting to happen without nobody addressing the lighting up there. So that part should be lit up, and there should be at least a pedestrian crosswalk sign or more lighting and more signage up there, or just build a crosswalk from that east entrance of Badger Park. You got people walking on the side of the road at night. There's no lighting. There's no concern about putting new lighting from 212 to Badger Park community. You got kids walking along the road at nighttime, and adults at 2 or 3 in the morning walking. So there's another accident waiting to happen, but I haven't heard anything from any one of my colleagues concerned about that. So, but we all, you know, majority of us live here in Iggy Butte, so that seems to be a concern. And that was like a year ago that we got this funding to fix these roads on Sesame Street and Mini Mart. Again, you know, a lot of traffic over there on that Mini Mart road. You know, a lot of alcohol being sold out of that establishment, and we just kind of do patchwork. So last year, or this past fair, they put dirt down and did a pretty good job on fixing that temporarily. But we need something that's going to be long term. So I'd like to see a report, or that's one of my colleagues have more information besides Thad. Kind of gave us a small report, but we need those fixed now. You know, we can't wait once a year, Chairman, executives. You guys go to the cities, and we know this. You know, if you're educated and you guys graduated college, you guys know this, and we're just sitting here, you know, waiting for someone to take that on. But the roads committee should be taking us on and addressing it and getting this fixed now. But yeah, Chairman, if we can, I don't know, maybe you can give some comments on it, on your view on what I see is we should be maintaining this weekly or monthly, not once a year. So that's, but I seen it with my own eyes, you know, up there in Sioux Falls when I went on that travel, and I seen them road crews out there. So maybe it's a money issue, but I know we got that 2 or 3 million sitting at roads department, and we could be hiring a crew or day laborers to get out there and shovel this dirt from these curbs and cleaning out these gutters and cutting down these weeds. So when summer hits, you know, our elders can, you know, at least live a better life and see a better community instead of all this junk, and there's no jobs. And so even a clean community is going to make people kind of want to, you know, give them hope on a clean community instead of dirt and junk and trash and, you know, overpiled trash roll-offs, you know, things like that. So we got to do better, council. So, Chairman, if we what's your opinion on that? Because I know you can direct these guys to get that done on every nice day. You can have them out there cleaning up start with the community of Iggy Butte first, and then we can make our way. Once we're done here, we can move on to Timberlake and Dupree and the smaller communities.
Councilman, I agree 100% with what you reported on, and thank you for your comments. And I feel the same way. There's other entities involved in all this, of course. With the Highway 212, there's that's a federal highway operated and maintained by the state. When they were here, we pressed them on that issue, talking about the lighting for one being very bad, and that would use their own funds to put the light bulbs back in with the help of more grant. But like you said, there's some that are permanently damaged and they need to be replaced in its entirety. They're just not there no more. The wind took it out at some point. And there's also the foot traffic issues. There's not sidewalks all the way through from No Heart to the transportation office. There's no sidewalks. There's ditches though. There's ditches along the highways that you don't see in other communities, like you stated. And you go to even Gettysburg or Faith, there's no ditches there. There's all sidewalks and curbs and gutters. And but for some reason they left Eagle Butte out, and they gave us these ditches that have been in place since they put Highway 212 in, probably. So those are issues we're up against. And as far as the Eagle Butte streets, if you're Dakota Longbreak, our director and they the firm, their engineering firm, KLJ, and I think Bros, they put in for the grant, the RAISE grant, and that was to do the planning for Eagle Butte streets, curbs and gutters, sidewalks, the lighting, the lamppost, street lights throughout Eagle Butte. So if that's a good sign there. It's a $4 million grant that he was able to get for our tribe, and it's a planning grant, but that's a two-step process. So he got through step number one to get the RAISE grant for the planning, and so he's doing that planning now, and then he goes on to the second phase, which he has to reapply for actual funding dollars to do the construction and build out of the streets and roads, sidewalks, all those throughout Eagle Butte. So it is a process he has to go through. So he's on the right track to get that done. So once that's done, all the streets will be addressed throughout Eagle Butte, the Willow Street, the Sesame Street, through District 5 and 4. So that's the track they're on now to get that addressed, all the things you brought up. So, but I'm glad you brought that up. And the other part of it was just the administration, and like you said, and cleaning the gutters out. And they do that every once in a while. We were on them, and they got it in on the going through the before fair. I noticed that too, that they just do things before the fair, and they should be doing them more often, and probably in the spring when it's all defrosted, and we can do that cleanup as part of the cleanup. We can do the curbs and gutters and sidewalks cleaning it as well. So definitely need all that, and of course we'll let them know about the painting the lines better and whatnot. Kind of doesn't make sense in some of these areas. You go downtown into the city part, and then there's barely enough room for 4 lanes. And you get somebody doesn't park against the curb, and their vehicle, their truck is sticking out, so you have to go into the other lane. It kind of doesn't make sense at that point down in the city side. But yeah, we're in this together, and we'll get it straightened out and cleaned up. I'm with you on that one. So. Mr. Underwoods, Ms. Whiteville.
Chairman, this has
Thank you.
been an issue for a while when the BIE turned over Willow Street, the infrastructure underneath there, the water and the sewer line there. But when you come over towards the old jail, the tribal court, it's always been rugged there, So I think Bureau and everybody else has to kick in to maybe lay some cement, that block, lay some cement. And I mentioned this before, going up to Dinosaur Park. You see, those are old roads, but they on the intersections, they got cement. So just like where our multi-purpose building is, BIA called me, roads, and they said that wasn't theirs. So Terry called me and he said it was the city, county. So they didn't come in and put some gravel in. if you look at it, they put some gravel in because that's kind of a wetlands, and it's got medicine growing there. And we still didn't get that drainage from the multi-purpose building to the park and then out. So the city did a lot of good work, but it took a lawsuit from us to upgrade their sewer. And the city, they flushed out all their, like what Derek's saying, they flushed out all the water lines. You know, so there's 11 council reps here that represent this community, 11. So I don't know why those lights are still out over there, and I'm glad Derek brought that up because me and District 1 was always bringing it up. Don't wait till someone gets killed. But I think we need a united effort here, Chairman. Maybe you could pull that together, you know, the BIA, county, city, and us, you know, because of how that situation is. When we find out the city's going to say this and that, you know, county, but we need to get everybody on board.
Yep, will do. I think that's the approach we have to take. Get everyone involved in upgrading our communities.
We didn't have an excavator back then, tribe or the Bureau. So the Bureau got an excavator from Billings, Montana. Came down here, did bar crossings. Because the elder brought it up in Ireland and that, you know, the water, so they needed that fire crossing. But they forgot to do the drainage at the multi-purpose building. So maybe do you need a motion to that effect or what to get, we should have an excavator now. They don't take a great big one though, you know, maybe renting a small one and finishing that drainage that was supposed to have been on that list. That would, it's landscaping it's called, you know, do some landscaping. That's what these cities do, landscaping. So maybe one of our we're going to probably have to put some monies there too. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Trindowitz, Mrs. Weibo, and Mr. Knife.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, when I was on council before this past, we had made council actions to repair that road in front of Mini Mart to get it fixed. Also, we had made council actions to fix those lights on 212, and we talked about the dangers. We also talked about the lights at Alphaville 1 and Alphaville 2. And the pathway, again, was brought up. And those were council actions. And so I left office in December of 2022. And so I assume when we pass a council action as a council representative that our directors who are responsible for, in our administration, for following up on the council actions are following up on the council actions. So I got back into office in August of 2023 and assumed again, which was probably my mistake, that was being followed up. So Mr. Chairman, it was really nice to hear your report that Dakota has taken some action with regards to some of the council actions that were taken. But I do have to agree, maybe this should be a regular thing, you know, to follow up on a regular basis with regards to that area in front of Mini Mart and the lighting. I remember him stating that it was, that wasn't the tribal property. Those lights did not belong to the tribe. They belong to the state. And so it was their responsibility and he was working with the state. But I hope that we don't have to keep making a council action or addressing the situation on council floor just to get them repaired. I was really glad to see one of the council actions or one of the concerns brought up in the previous administration was that big hole in front of Family Dollar as you come out of Family Dollar and you turn right. It was nice to see that replaced. I don't know if the tribe finally took it upon themselves and fixed the hole or if the state did it. Do you know what I mean? Or the county, but it was nice to see that hole repaired. So I agree. I think that we need to continue to pursue that
Thank you, Council Representative Bartlett, for bringing that to our attention.
Go ahead, Mr. Brinks-Money.
Real quick, Mr. Chairman, that was one of the first things I asked when I went to the roads committee, was in regards to the roads that Council Rep Bartlett was bringing up. And it was discussed there, and Dakota did discuss it in regards to the RAISE grant. I just can't remember the name of the grant that was discussed, but it was in those projects, so, yeah, RAISE grant, yeah. So anyhow, that's discussed. I know, because those potholes are pretty heinous. Thank you.
Get back to Mr. Knife. You want to continue?
Okay, we had a meeting on October 25th. Members present. What's that? You wanna do October? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we had a roads meeting, October 25th, 2023. The meeting was called to order at 9:05 a.m. by myself, members present, myself as vice chairman, Representative Dupreez, Representative Russo, and Representative Moran. We'll go to the first motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Steve Moran, to identify gravel surplus for residential use for tribal members, making sure not to take from stockpile already needed. There's 3 for, 0 no, 0 not voting. That motion carried, and that'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Rose. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Moran. Comments or questions on the action?
Chairman.
Yes,
we got
sir.
District 1 minutes, and I got an appointment that I gotta leave here pretty soon. But Steve could present these minutes. We got 3 motions. I'll present it. It don't matter. Steve will get it.
Uh-huh.
And on that Zoom, Chloe's gonna be here, and I'm gonna call in when the court's here.
Okay.
Gotta sit in on that.
Uh-huh.
Gotta keep them guys honest, man.
Yeah.
Beat to the fire type of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Pilamalu.
Have a good day, Mr. in the Woods. We got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, call for the vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Rose.
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Kenrick Dupreez, to add a new route to Cherry Creek to the TTIP. 3 for, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. Brinks-Money. Comments or questions on the action? Mr. Brinks-Money, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This road, this new route, it should be prioritized for the Cherry Creek area. Before when I was in office, when I was the chairman, I remember Council Rep Maynard Dupreez through the roads department was discussing a new route. It'll go down 63 right where it turns after Rudy Creek. After that turn, it would cut straight down, and it'll come down off of Route 5 and into 6 right there, down into the Cherry Creek community. So it'd be a straight shot over the top part and paved. Excuse me? Yep, that way. And I know that they were getting some easements, working on it, and I don't know, after I left office, I don't know whatever took place after that, but this needs to happen. This needs to be prioritized. There's a lot of individuals in that community that commute to Eagle Butte, but I mean, those roads are terrible. But also too, and with the emergency services, I know response to the area down there, it would be basically saving lives with a quick response time. This should be prioritized and put on the top list. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. If there's any more comments? Motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Absent Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Bringsplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 2 absent, motion carries. Mr. Rose, go ahead.
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Steve Moran to submit a new application to the TAP grant for a loop pathway as another phase to the LaPlante Pathway Project. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Rose. Is there a second by Mr. Walters? Comments or questions on the action? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods. Steve Moran. Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Absent Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee. Absent Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Bringsplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mr. Rose?
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Kenrick DePreez to establish and initiate a tribal CDL program and to refer it to the Attorney General to help with it. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion to refer to the AG.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Rose to refer, second by Ms. Weibel.
Discussion.
You gonna add Terrell to that?
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, isn't that the responsibility of the Tarot Commission or the Tarot? You know what I mean? So it should be referred to the Tarot Commission. It's not a legal issue.
I can amend the motion to refer to Tarot Commission.
Okay, we got an amendment. Second still there. All in favor, raise your hand.
Or where?
Sending to Terrell.
Office?
Okay, 11 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Rose?
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Representative Steve Moran to add a truck bypass through Ridgeview Route 3 and to the 212 intersection going straight to the TTIP. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Rose. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Underwoods.
I think he wants.
Yes, go ahead. Use your mic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is the state already taking care of this?
Yeah, that's a good point. It probably should be the state that is initiating and funding this effort. What's your motion?
Is there an amendment that would fix a motion, colleagues?
Mr. Chairman, could we do a resolution? Could we have the Attorney General draft a resolution? Or work with Dakota to draft a resolution requesting it? And then
send it to the state, requesting it, do you know what I mean, and working that way.
Want to refer that to the Attorney General?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, to get a resolution.
Yep.
Okay, we got a motion's been amended to refer to the AG. Second still there. Second still there. All in favor, raise your hand. Got 10 yes, 0 no, motion carries.
Chairman,
Yes.
Rose, Mr. Rose, could I make a motion to get the roads to do the drainage around the multi-purpose building? They're gonna need an excavator or a small excavator.
After this, after he's done, you can.
Could I make that now? I'm head on. That's what I'm asking.
Oh. Or we're gonna, oh, he's almost done. You heading out right now?
Yeah,
Okay. Go ahead then.
yeah, I'll make a motion to get the roads department to do the drainage around the multi-purpose building. That should cover it. I'll talk to Dakota too.
Got a motion by Mr. Underwood. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Hall. Comments or questions?
Yeah, it's gonna take an excavator.
Any more comments? Restate your motion.
Mary just said it.
Motion to get the roads department to fix the drainage problem by the Dupree Community Building.
Around a multi-purpose building. Yeah, around a multi-purpose building.
Motion to get the roads department to fix the drainage problem by the Dupree Multi-Purpose Building.
Yeah, around the multi-purpose building.
Around?
But he don't work for roads no more. Dakota might do it himself.
Madam Secretary, whenever you're ready, call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Oh, huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ten Eyck Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Absent. Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee. Absent. Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe Bringspenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mr. Rose.
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Steve Moran to submit for funding for every community on this reservation to have running trails / pathways. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Rose. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Whipple. Comments, questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods. Absent. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ten Eyck Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall. Joe Bringspenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent. Tuffy Thompson.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mr. Rose.
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Kenrick Dupreez for prime contractors to have to compensate fuel tax for the tribe. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Rose. Yeah? Okay. Second by Ms. Lee. Comments, Ms. Whitewell, go ahead.
Yeah, could you give me some explanation, information pertaining to why this motion was made and how they plan to do that? Yeah,
If I recall right, the discussion during roads committee was that perhaps these prime contractors for these large projects aren't purchasing their fuel within the exterior boundaries of the reservation. In terms of implementing it, I don't know that answer. It's probably a discussion that needs to be had with the tax committee. And the motion was Representative Russo's. I wish he was here to explain. As far as making the motion and such, it was passed by committee, so I'll make the motion on council floor.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
I would support that. I think it's a great motion, but I think that we need to get it to a committee and get the work done on it. Do you know what I mean? And bring it back.
I will amend my motion to refer this to the tax committee. Does that work?
What do you think? Or
Yeah,
claims tax?
that's more, that's probably the place it should go. The second's still there to refer to tax.
I think we should just pass the motion anyway and then refer it to the tax committee also.
You could do that too.
Because they
Motion
don't
to-
meet a lot and we don't see their minutes.
You could do that too, but you could also refer it in the same motion. Motion to approve and refer.
Approve and refer.
Okay, motion's been amended to approve and refer to the tax committee. This matter, second still there by the seconder. All in favor, raise your hand. At 12 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Rose.
Next motion by Council Representative Ronald Russo, seconded by Council Representative Steve Moran to mandate SD DOT to buy aggregate from tribal pits. 3-4, 0 no, 0 not voting will be my motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Rose, second by Mr. Walters. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Who's seconding? And it's that motion, it's not amended or anything?
Bryce Underwoods, absent. Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler, absent. Kenrick Dupreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, yes. Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall,
Yes.
Joe Brings Plenty, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mr. Rose?
Minutes.
Okay, council, let's take a lunch break till 1 o'clock.
Chairman, I had one more for roads, but you want me to wait? It's just a referral. What do we? Okay, I'll bring it back.